be given in tribute to me.
Okay, so we're gonna check out some breakdown of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and how this movie is gonna be. I think what it's gonna happen is Spider-Man No Way Home is gonna be the introduction to the multiverse splitting up and diverging into all these different scenarios that start going to war with each other after the events of Loki. And then after Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange the Multiverse. I think this is my theory, that Spider-Man No Way Home is going to lead into, because Doctor Strange is in Spider-Man No Way Home, and that's going to be the introduction to this multiverse war. And then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is going to be basically like the sequel in the MCU to Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what I think. Anyways, let's jump into it.
What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. And things are about to get pretty crazy in the MCU. Some of you may heard that Charles Xavier is going to be in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, coming from the Fox universe. However, this is just one part of this report. He is not the only X-Men or only Fox character that is going to be appearing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but there is going to be a handful more, which I'm going to talk about in this video. And of course, I'll explain Charles Xavier as well, which Charles Xavier it's going to be, and why. Why are these characters going to be in this movie, and why are they going to fight the Scarlet Witch? And sadly, and I'll just mention this now, out of all of these characters that the Scarlet Witch is supposed to fight in the film, Logan was supposed to be one of them, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine specifically. However, according to a report from the user Viewer Anon, who has been extremely accurate about some things that have recently been proven true, he said a fight between Wolverine and Wanda was supposed to happen, where Wolverine actually lost, but apparently it didn't happen, and this is according to him. So that's extremely sad that that's not going to happen, but it does give you hope just a little bit that perhaps maybe Hugh Jackman could return one time and make an MCU cameo.
It would be so cool.
We've really moved away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and really stepped into the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, especially after that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Doctor Strange literally mentioned the multiverse and how him and Peter Parker messed with it when they did the spell. Well, when Doctor Strange did the spell. And of course, we all know how Loki ended. It ended.
Hold on. I just want to say something real quick. This would be really cool. This was something I was thinking about the other day. Is if you're ever bored and you want to rewatch all the MCU movies, right? So like, there's a breakdown of how to watch them in chronological order. And at the same time, it's like, now that the multiverse is a thing and all of these previous Marvel franchises actually exist in the MCU through the multiverse, Andrew Garfield exists in the MCU, Tobey Maguire exists in the MCU, Willem Dafoe exists in the MCU. All of these things, you could actually, when you go and watch the chronological order of the MCU, you could actually, I don't even remember what the original thing I was going to comment on, when he said something that caused me to go on this tangent, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, what I'm saying is that you could include all of these prior movies, because I saw someone came up with a list of recommendations of all these previous movies that you can include. You could even go back and include Lou Ferrigno Hulk. You could include Lou Ferrigno Hulk in the MCU. You could include the original Punishers in the MCU. You could include Thomas Jane. You could include Eric Bana's Hulk in the MCU. You could include Blade. You could include Wesley Snipes' Blade in the MCU if you wanted. I mean, just there's so many so many previous movies that you could now consider existing in some multiverse that exists in the MCU. Just like, it's basically just like how they did I don't remember what the I can't remember the exact scene where this happened, but there was a scene where the DC universe movie universe, the DC movie universe Flash from Justice League and from the Snyder cut of Justice League meets the TV show Flash. Like the TV show Flash and the movie Flash meet each other, right? So that's something DC's. This is like the first thing that Marvel's kind of taken, like, from DC was like, okay, we're gonna start saying that all of the stuff exists in some multiverse, and that's gonna happen in the next Flash movie. Is the movie Flash, who's already met the TV Flash, is now gonna go and meet the movie Michael Keaton Batman in the next Flash movie. So Marvel's like, wow, that's a cool idea. Like, let's have all of our previous franchises exist in a multiverse. So this is the first thing that Marvel's actually copied from DC as far as their movie franchises go. So this is going to be really cool. Anyways, continue.
The rebirth of the multiverse. And there are a few things that really have affected the multiverse. It's looking like it's just not one event that is making everything kind of go into madness. It looks like it was a few different events. Wanda is a Nexus being, so I'm sure something that happened in WandaVision caused a Nexus
Michael
event.
Keaton
We
back
definitely
as
know
Batman
that at the end of the Loki series, what they did, no spoilers in case anybody hasn't seen it, created the multiverse. And I'm assuming even if you haven't seen it, you've heard that Loki creates the multiverse. I just won't say how. And like I said, Doctor Strange just pretty much straight up says, we tampered with the multiverse. And then of course we got those glorious shots of the pumpkin bomb, the lightning, the sand, the lizard, and of course Doc Ock, confirming that it's here, it's in the MCU, it has begun. And where everything is going to start to get absolutely insane is in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, we knew this, the name's right in the title, but it seems like we don't know exactly how crazy it's going to get. But today we do get a little closer as we have a pretty crazy but
I didn't know that
report. The first report came a couple of days ago from Daniel
I didn't know
RPK,
Loki and Wanda were
going to
be in Multiverse of Madness.
Actually pretty reliable. And the other day he said, in Doctor Strange 2, Wanda will fight someone from the Foxverse. I am not allowed to reveal who it is, but it could top this fight, in which he was referring to Doctor Strange fighting Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. Now, Daniel wasn't allowed to say, but somebody online did come out and say, and it's the user My Time to Shine Hello. And just so you're aware, this user is very reliable. About a week before the trailer for No Way Home hit, he posted everything that we were going to see, and it all came true. So clearly this person has very, very credible and real insider information, and he came out, or she came out, and said yesterday, it's going to be Charles Xavier leading the multiversal Illuminati against Wanda. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, or if you're new, I've been talking about Professor X being in Multiverse of Madness for a long time, and the Illuminati being in Multiverse of Madness for...
Whoa, dude. So, the Illuminati is gonna be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Damon, stop. Stop distracting me. Dude, I don't like that, because Disney's trying to paint the Illuminati into being something not terrible in pop culture. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked with that. My point is, that's really cool. In Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, we're gonna get. So it's basically Doctor Strange 2, but in it we're gonna also get Loki. We're gonna get Scarlet Witch. We're gonna get X-Men. Professor Xavier. This is really cool.
Actually posted my first video about the Illuminati and Professor X appearing in Doctor Strange in the
possibly
Multiverse
Wolverine.
of Madness on January 3rd of 2020. This was an exclusive scoop given to me by Geekosity Mag owner Mikey Sutton. Then several months down the road, a lot of other people started reporting this, saying they've heard it as well. And now we're here. Now,
Dude,
I
look
also
at
knew Professor X
look
was
at
going
John
to be in it,
Krasinski
and I
as
do
Mr.
believe that it's
Fantastic.
going to be Patrick Stewart, and a lot of people have been hinting at this, which gives it further
Look at
proof.
Jim
but the
from
reason
The
that I
Office as
believe is
Mr.
because
Fantastic.
Patrick Stewart actually came out and said a little over a year ago that he met with Kevin Feige. I've talked about this several times on my channel, and also talked about how since he met with Patrick Stewart, he probably also
Roll
met
over.
with Ian
Head down.
McKellen and Hugh Jackman as well, and
Head
maybe
down.
some others. Patrick Stewart came
Go
out
on.
and talked about it a little bit, and basically
Gonna be a
said, I
pest.
met with Kevin Feige to talk
go
about
outside.
plans for Professor Xavier. So literally right there admitting that Kevin Feige did want Professor X in the MCU. Now, Patrick Stewart did say that his time as Professor X was done. He ended that with Logan. He said goodbye to the character. But here's the thing about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's literally a multiversal Illuminati team. It's not an Illuminati from our main timeline. So he can still play Professor X and not undo anything that he did in Logan. He doesn't have to undo his goodbye. And from what we've been hearing for the past 2 days, he is going to lead an Illuminati team, and it seems like we might know who that team is. According to user viewer Anon, who I mentioned has been very accurate with leaks in the past, he says, or she says, I don't know if this is a final list, and I will stress as always to take things with a grain of salt, but here is who I've heard make up the Illuminati in Multiverse of Madness. Professor X, Captain Carter, Balder the Brave, Monica Rambeau, and Mordo. Now again, this is said to be a multiversal Illuminati. So I'm guessing they each come from, or at least a few of them each come from separate universes. They're not all coming from the same universe, which makes you wonder, since they are being called the Illuminati by everybody, if they're communicating with each other between these different universes. Or do they all just come to our main MCU timeline and then they team up from there? I'm gonna assume since Professor X is the leader and he has the ability to communicate with people telepathically, I'm gonna assume that he's probably talked to these people before. And since the universe is essentially going to be at stake in Multiverse of Madness and Wanda is going to play a pretty big part of that instability, perhaps they make the decision as the Illuminati, perhaps an Illuminati of the multiverse and not just one universe, they make that decision to go to our
I don't like
universe
that
and
they're
try
trying to
stop
make
Wanda
the
together.
Illuminati
That's
as
not
like
confirmed.
some
That's just my personal theory that I think
special
would be really,
team
really
that has
cool to
everyone's
see.
best
now,
interests
the end of WandaVision, that post-credit scene with her having the dark
into
hole,
pop
made
culture.
it very,
I
very
don't like
clear
that.
that Wanda is going to be, if not the most powerful
You want the
being
truth
in the
about the
MCU, one of the
Illuminati?
most.
Go
And
listen
remember
to
how
Alex
Jean
Jones
Grey kind
on
of made
Timcast
ways to
last
Professor
night.
Xavier. I'm going to assume that the Scarlet Witch's powers in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, because of the Darkhold, are going to pretty much be at Phoenix Force levels.
On
Perhaps not as strong
Timcast
because, you know, it's the
IRL
Phoenix Force,
streams
but
last
pretty dang
night.
powerful. So I'm not sure that this Illuminati is going to be able to stop her. In fact, I'm pretty sure they won't. But it is cool that we could be seeing a possible live-action Captain Carter, hopefully played by Haley Atwell. Daniel RPK actually did report about a month ago that he has heard that Captain Carter is going to be in Multiverse of Madness. And when I personally interviewed the writer and director of Marvel's What If, I
Damn,
asked
she's
them
pretty,
if
dude.
Captain Carter could make her way to the MCU.
On the right.
And they played
On the right.
pretty
On the
coy
right,
about
she's
it, but they
pretty.
said
Not
that
on
they
the
were
left.
hopeful.
On the left,
However, the
Abomination.
executive producer Brad Winderbaum did say that yes, now anything is possible and they can cross over. And I would personally really love to see this group. Obviously, I would love to see Professor X, Charles Xavier, Patrick Stewart's version in the MCU. I would love to see Haley Atwell as Captain Carter. Obviously, Mordo already exists in the MCU, as well as Monica Rambeau. But Balder the Brave, Thor's half-brother and an Asgardian, would be pretty cool to see, especially if Frigga has put the invulnerability spell on him, pretty much making it to where as long as he's in an Asgardian realm, nothing can hurt him except for mistletoe. In fact, at one point in time, Odin regarded him as the bravest Asgardian. So I would absolutely love to see him in Multiverse of Madness, and I would love to see this whole thing play out. The Scarlet Witch fight the Illuminati. I think it would be so cool.
There's a
but
girl
let me know
husky
what you
next
think
door,
about this new report in the comments
and
down
he
below.
can
If
he
you
can
love
smell
Marvel
her.
and want to stay up to date, don't forget to subscribe and hit that
knows she's
notification
there.
bell so you don't miss out on any
saw
of
her
the
on
latest
our walk.
videos.
That's
And
why
for
he
live
knows
updates, you can always
she's
follow me
there.
on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to hit that like button, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof
All right.
woof.
Okay, so that's what he's doing. He's trying to. You can see his tail. You can see his butt right there. He's trying to check out the girl husky next door, but he can't because there's a barrier. Anyways, That looks, dude, honestly, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness looks just as exciting and just as good and just as like jam-packed of fun, like, possibilities as Spider-Man No Way Home does. It looks just as good, if not better, dare I say it, if you like X-Men and Scarlet Witch and all that stuff. Anyways, on to the next one, and thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and all that stuff.